All right, Michelle. So I don't know if you believe in Bigfoot, but I have some cases for you today.
Okay, I'll listen to your evidence.
Welcome to Scary Mystery Surprise.
Where we talk about scary things that surprised us around the internet.
I'm Edwin.
I'm Michelle.
With Bigfoot, I'll be brief here, but I wrote down a little summary. Bigfoot is also known as Sasquatch, a large creature that can walk on 2 feet. It's 7 feet tall, although some say that it's between 10 to 15 feet tall. It's muscular, and it's covered in dark hair.
Jesus, 15 feet?
I feel like we all know someone like that.
We all have that friend.
If you're that person, it's all right.
If you don't know that person, you are that person.
Anyway, people say that it has broad shoulders, no visible neck, really long arms, and that its eyes glow yellow or red. Before you say anything, I know that it sounds like a fake thing, right, with those eyes, but think about cats, right? Cats, their eyes, or about how you come out in your pictures, like red eyes. People say that they're actually seeing some animal or mistaking it for this thing. Scientists always getting in the way.
They always ruin stuff for us.
Yeah, I feel like we're in a battle, like a constant battle of just all this stuff that we want to talk about and that is true. They're just like, nope.
Nope, not today.
Yeah. They say that people actually see an animal and that it's a mistake. It's not Bigfoot. That it isn't even the proper place for one of them to survive. Like, they need tropical things. Like, an ape cannot survive out in the mountains of California. Also, that the footprints, DNA, remains, photographs, video, pretty much everything can be disproved.
No one's ever gotten like a class photo of a Bigfoot. There's no HD footage, right?
Yeah, like 4K, three-dimensional LiDAR or whatever. Anyway, but if you ignore all the scientific proof and explanations, like we'll do for the rest of this episode, and that's how I choose to live my life, I'll see if I can make a case for Bigfoot right here.
Okay, I'm ready to listen.
So there have been over 10,000 reported sightings in the United States.
Wow.
And 1/3 of these have been in the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, of course.
And in researching this for another Scary FM podcast, I found several cases. Actually, Maddie found several cases. Thank you, Maddie. In Provo Canyon, Utah in 2012, a man was camping out with a group of people. He was near Squaw Peak and Little Rock Canyon overlook. And that's when he saw a deer. If you see a deer, what happens? You take out your phone, you try not to scare it away. Well, not if you're a hunter, right? They walk up to the hill and try to get closer to the deer.
Oh, Jesus.
And that's when they suddenly see what looks like a bear. And then it stands up and looks right at them. They say that the thing was so large that they still can't say for sure that it had actually been a bear.
Wow.
Now, after finding out, more about Bigfoot and creatures and how tall a bear can actually stand, they say that this thing could have been a Bigfoot sighting. Again, the party's kind of like, some say yes, some are like, I don't know, I don't want to be made fun of. That's like the big debate. Like when you see a ghost, you don't want to tell anybody.
Depending on who you are, you either tell no one or you tell everyone. That's just a fact.
What team are you on?
Yeah, what team? I think you know what team we're both on.
All right, so there's one, right? So we have 9,999 left. So here's this one. Patrolman for the U.S. Forests named Paul Freeman claimed to see a family of Bigfoots in Washington. I want to say Bigfoot, but Bigfoot's right.
A family of Bigfeets.
That's my family. Anyway, he claimed to see a family of Bigfoots, of Bigfeet, in Washington's Blue Mountains back in 1994. He caught them on camera, and even though the video is grainy and just looks terrible, Bigfoot experts believe it's 100% true. But people start going after the person's credibility, all that. So it turns into a controversy. They find out, like, not about this specific person, but they find out, like, have you lied before about something else? Are you working on a movie?
Yeah, people really go after Bigfoot supporters. They really rip them apart.
It's not fair, but there are hoaxes out there, so I guess it makes sense. But I found this other one. It's actually of the Tampa skunk ape, which is kind of like the Floridized version from Florida.
Does it smell like a skunk?
They say that it stinks, yeah. They say that it stinks.
Ew.
I looked at an image of what this is supposed to look like, and it's creepy. It's like this scary, evil-looking ape.
Creepier than a regular Bigfoot?
Yeah, like, I think Bigfoot just looks angry, but this other one just looks evil. I'm going to eat you. Like, it shows its teeth and everything. But anyway, this one guy, Matthew McCamey, was out with his friend on a canoe in the swamp in Lettuce Lake Park. That's when they happened to see what looked like a bear just hanging out by the trees by the edge of the water. But you can see, I saw the video, it's actually this, it looks like a bear, but it's weird because it's walking and it's like hitting the water. Anyway, experts like in animals and zoos and stuff like that, they looked at it and they're like, yeah, this is what an ape behaves like. So it's weird. It's odd. One of the friends that was with, there were two of them, so one of them doesn't even want to talk about it. They actually gave the footage away to have it analyzed, and its authenticity is being debated because it came around the time when David Shealy, who was this other guy, who got this really convincing video, supposedly, of a creature that was roaming around the swamp area. Around that time, though, they say that there was this movie being made about the thing, the ape. So they think that it was simply an elaborate hoax.
There is just a safety issue where it's, we're just going to make a hoax video. So you're going to go crawl in this water that's like, there's alligators and poisonous snakes. But yeah, we're going to make a really good hoax video.
It would be risky. You'd have to be really dedicated.
Yeah, you'd have to be like a teenage boy. Not very smart, but like very daring and like really dedicated to making a prank. That's like a real specific teenage boy move.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I've seen worse things on TikTok. People jumping off things and doing dangerous things and stuff. I don't know. I don't think we can talk about Bigfoot, though, without at least mentioning the original video. I don't know if you ever seen the Bigfoot walk. Like, he's just like...
I think I have. Yeah, the big walk. Yeah, he's on. I think it was on Unsolved Mysteries back in the day. So I think I remember watching it on there. But it's pretty classic.
Yeah, and I know you can't see Michelle right now, but she was doing the motion with the arm, like swinging arms.
It's kind of like the Beatles on the Abbey Road album. Uh-huh. It's the same. Yeah, Bigfoot's doing the same walk.
Yeah. That's probably the most famous one, right? Like, this is the one that the thing that's been printed on T-shirts, keychains, posters. This has a huge fan base, by the way. Just the creature itself and the people who caught that video, actually filmed it. Do you know a lot about that, Michelle? Like the actual recording of it?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people do, and I didn't know either until I found the article about one of the guys who was still alive.
When was it shot again? Like, it was
1967. This was super interesting because it's some background stuff that not a lot of us know about. So I dove in, and there's obviously a lot more information than what I'm about to say, but here's like the idea. The film itself, like the video, is just under 60 seconds. I think it's almost at a minute. And it's one of the most scrutinized pieces of video footage ever made. Along the assassination of the president, it's just been looked over and over, analyzed, like the original one's been copied, and people just try to remake that same pose, walking in that same area, making sure that it's, what would another creature look like? What about a person in a costume? What would they look like?
Right.
So anyway, this writer for Outside Magazine made this really cool piece on one of the guys that filmed it. And he told that other side of the story. And here's how the thing was recorded, first of all. It was the fall of 1967, and two cowboys were riding all day long along Washington's Apple Country. And they had at one point been in the forests of California. Like, they were cowboys, like as in not just wannabes, but they were actually experienced in the outdoor stuff, horses and doing daring things, taming them. Like, your type of guy, Michelle, basically.
Yeah, Zach Bagans on a horse.
Yeah. And they were in search of footprints that kept being found, right? Like, around this time, there was this kind of craze. Like, they were like, we keep finding these footprints. We don't know what they are. So people were taking these casts of the footprints, and obviously people were interested in that. So these two guys, they're like, all right, let's go. So they're roaming around, sunrise to sunset, doing all that outdoorsy stuff. And so in late October, near Bluff Creek, they were on their horses, and the horses freaked out because they had seen something. And animals, they have a different...
Yeah, they have their senses are heightened. Look at Robbie; he's practically a psychic.
Yeah.
Can you see him? Oh no, he's trying to eat the rug right now.
So these horses, they're freaking out. They're like, wow, something's happening, blah, blah. And then they both see something. And less than 100 feet away, they see a gorilla-like figure standing upright. And it's walking around with its long arms swinging, like you said, doing the Abbey Road cross.
That image of the Beatles on the crosswalk, Abbey Road cover. It's the Abbey Road album cover for our listeners.
And yeah, they're doing that. And as the article so masterfully puts it, breasts exposed. Roger Patterson.
Wait. Hold the phone.
The thing had its breasts exposed.
Like its nips were out?
What's so hard to understand?
Like it was a woman, or like it would just had its... Wait, I just love that was put in the article like that.
It's like one of those, you know when they make fun of male writers writing like a romance novel?
Its honkers were out. And of course the Cowboys loved it. They of course stopped their horses immediately. And they were like, boo, boing. Who is that over there?
Oh man. Okay, so that just sets a whole different story of what I had in mind. Now I'm just like, this jazzy, like, sexy music comes on. So Roger Patterson got off his horse.
Wow, this became an erotica podcast really fast. It was a pretty easy transition. Two cowboys, one Bigfoot.
He grabbed his camera.
Oh my God, there's no way this isn't a porno. Oh my God.
I don't want to read the next stuff because it just keeps adding to it.
Oh no. Oh no.
It says, as he walked toward it, one hand on his camera, and he stopped and held it firmly. Hold on, let's just go back. Oh man.
It was making my chest hurt.
One hand on his camera, one other hand
firmly.
All right. Oh man, no, but they're out in the woods. There's like this clearing. So he yelled for Bob Gimlin, right? So there's these two guys, by the way. It's Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin. And he's like, hey, Bob, cover me. The other guy takes out his gun. This is Bob. He takes out his gun. And just in case the thing ran after them or whatever.
Right.
So
just with its tits like flailing in the wind while it's like
running in the wind.
Yeah, well, it's like the bounce as it runs after.
In slow motion. It's just going away in slow motion, doing the walk like the supermodel, turns its head, winks.
I never knew this was a female Bigfoot. I feel very excited and empowered. And the most famous footage of Bigfoot was of a female Bigfoot. So
I'm glad that you feel that way.
Yeah, I feel like it's one for the team.
Representation.
It matters.
So anyway, Patterson partnered up with someone to take the video and display it all over the country. And they were going to get money to fund another expedition. So they were dedicated. So again, they did have an incentive to fake it, I guess, if you wanted to think of it that way. They wanted money, but they wanted to use that money to go back into to find it, supposedly. So that makes you wonder, was it a hoax? Because if you want, like, why would you do all that? Okay, you caught it once, now you want to find it again, but with a bigger expedition. To me, that makes sense. Yeah. With Patterson and the other guy, and when they were discussing all this stuff, by the way, that was his brother-in-law. Bob Gimlin was like, man, forget you. I don't feel like I'm being a part of this. And for less than $10, according to the article, he sold the rights of that thing, whatever they were doing with that film, to another Bigfoot researcher who gladly took it and was like,
of course.
Cool. Bob probably went out and bought, I don't know, back then, what could you buy with $7? Today, you could buy a carton of eggs, but back then,
he bought 10 cartons of eggs. That's how much inflation there is now. We could have gotten 10 cartons of eggs for $10 back in the day. I wasn't alive in the 60s. I don't know.
Oh, man. So the pair actually didn't speak to each other that well since. Business got in the way. So grew apart for 5 years, actually. And imagine this film is going around the world or whatever, like going around basically, maybe around the world, yeah. And they're just like not having it. They're just like, whatever. Obviously, Bob's can't be a part of this legally now. I sold my rights. And the other two are like taking advantage of all this stuff. So,
well, wait, one of the people that's still taking advantage of it is the guy that filmed it, right?
The guy that filmed it was Patterson, supposedly.
He
stayed with the other guy.
Okay.
Patterson and some other guy. And then Bob was the one that
held the gun out to protect him. Okay, gotcha.
The pair didn't speak to each other. And eventually Patterson was like on his deathbed. Like he was dying of cancer at age 38.
Oh, damn.
It's really sad. Yeah. Super young. And he was like, all right, I'm sorry. He apologized to Bob. He's like, I'm sorry for not making you feel a part of this. And, they just sold your rights. And now I'm imagining it as super, super dramatic, but basically said, when you get better, we're going to go back to California and we're going to find Bigfoot, all right? And, they're just like, okay, just get better, all right, okay. And he just died the next day.
It's tough. That's tough.
Don't cry, Michelle. Like,
don't out my emotions on the air. How dare you?
But, what I find super, super interesting is the conventions and all the stuff that Bigfoot became after that.
Right.
And became this awesome American thing, right? Like burgers and bald eagles and stuff like.
And hot dogs.
And hot dogs, yeah. Like, it's just, there you go. Bigfoot's is there. It's like one of those icons. And I like that.
Which is funny because hamburgers and hot dogs are German, technically.
I was going to say pizzas too, but those.
It's Italian.
We don't have anything. But anyway, there's Bigfoot conventions and Bigfooters, as they like to call each other. Maybe there's other names. I'm not a part of that, so I don't know.
It might be fun to go to a Bigfoot convention sometime. Yeah. It would be fun, because it would just be like, what is this?
Yeah. I don't know. That'd be cool. I might become a Bigfooter or something.
Maybe. I'm going to write down Bigfoot convention on my list.
Cool. These people out that go, they're like fanatics, and they obviously, some of them have a scientific approach to stuff too, to actually prove the existence of Bigfoot. They're happy to retell their stories and tell stories of their encounters and all that stuff, and proof and pictures and all this stuff, that since there's so many hoaxes and fakes and all that stuff, it's hard to know what's true and what isn't. So they just keep putting out this awesome evidence, and people are just like, that's fake. Man in a costume.
Yeah.
Whatever. Oh, that's another porno attempt.
That's not authentic because their tits aren't big. So that's how you know a fake.
When people meet Bob Gimlin, they say that it's like meeting, I don't know, like your favorite celebrity, like the president, this wild, I don't know, like the techies, it would be like meeting Elon Musk, or for you, I don't know. Oh, Zach Bagans.
Come on, I fed you that earlier. Come on, you can do it.
I'm looking at you, looking at me like, I was going to say Harry Styles, but I stopped because I saw that look. But for me, I don't know. Like, I think, I don't know. I always think of maybe there's like dead authors that I know I would have loved to meet.
Oh, yeah.
All these writers and stuff. But now, I don't know.
That's funny. I guess it's if you were going to have a dinner party and you could have whoever, dead or alive, come. Wait, who would be your number one?
For me, Edgar Allan Poe would be like...
Interesting. But what if he was like he was like a raging drug addict, so what if he wasn't like nice or coherent?
Well, he doesn't have to be nice. He doesn't have to be, he doesn't even have to be all there. I think that's what it makes a person. And I think just being able to... I don't think of what he would say necessarily. I just want to know what he was like. Was he a drunk all the time? Did he cuss? I wouldn't be able to tell because if it's Old English or whatever, I won't know. There's just something about that. Edgar Allan Poe, I'd also like to, I don't know, there's other, I don't know, just old leaders from like some other civilizations back in the day. I'm not a big history person like you, Michelle, so. How about you?
It's weird because I've been industry adjacent for a long time, so it's like a lot of people be like an actor or like an artist. Like I know how a lot of those people are generally. So a part of me is, would I have dinner? Like I don't know off the top of my head because maybe like someone who's actually seems kind, like Mr. Rogers or something, like maybe something like that, like where it's like you could actually glean stuff from someone who managed to do something very groundbreaking but also be a good person.
Yeah, I get it.
A lot of people aren't good people, and at some point I don't know if their art like makes up for that. If you're having dinner with John Lennon, everybody goes through the phase where they realize John Lennon was like an ass. Like he was just like an asshole to his first family. He was like, he would beat his wife up. There's like just things where you're just like, let me just check him off the list. Let me like, you just go through it. You're like, I don't know if I want to have dinner with anyone now.
Oh man. So that's why you told me that about Edgar Allan Poe.
I think maybe like Mark Twain. I like Mark Twain a lot.
Mark Twain. That'd be cool.
I think it'd be interesting to meet up with him. I'd also love to have dinner with Courtney Love, even though I know she's crazy, but I love her anyway. Because
you already know, because she was in public.
Yeah, she's definitely in public.
Oh man. So anyway, so this Bigfoot thing, theories as to where it lives, what it wants, and why it doesn't seem to disturb many people are out there. So even though so much talk about its existence is out there and continues to develop, and experts have theorized even on its family dynamics and stuff like that, we do have to admit that there's lots we don't know about the woods and creatures that live in it.
Isn't that the worst phrase you've ever heard? That there's a lot of things we don't know about the woods. That is like, Jesus fucking Christ. Chill. So many things you don't know about the woods.
Because the woods are like, for me, one of the fears when I get asked about what I'm afraid of, I say darkness, but not like the darkness of being without light necessarily. Like you turn off the light in a room. Not about that, but like huge empty spaces, like caves, or you don't know what's there, like beyond a certain area of the house. And that really creeps me out. Like, I think the woods, it has that, right? Like when you see like the trees are so thick, like you can't see past a certain part. That's what I would say is one of my fears.
Just in the trees, it always feels like something's looking back at you. Like
Oh, I can't imagine that. When you're a kid and you're looking out a window and you see just darkness and trees, I can't.
No, thank you.
So I think in some way, I think the whole Bigfoot phenomena and everything. So in all that darkness and all these things that we see, like we do have kind of a reminder, right? People keep trying to find this creature out there and they can't. And I think it just doesn't want to be bothered, right? Like some things, like our forest, are better the way they want to be, completely undisturbed.
Love it. I mean, have you heard that theory that it's an interdimensional being?
Yeah.
And so it blinks in and out of reality all the time, and that's why no one's ever found any evidence.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it like in some message somewhere, and I looked into it, and I'm like, wow.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, there's even like that it's not from Earth.
Yeah, it might be an alien. I think I go with like string theory. I think I'm a big believer in string theory about like parallel dimensions, and if it's an interdimensional traveler that just doesn't want to be interacted with.
Yeah. Or I just thought of something. What if it's an experiment from like aliens who are trying to make a human, or like something that, and it's out there.
That's a good story.
And they got it wrong and it escaped or something. I don't know. Like,
I love that. That would be a good scary story. That's a good premise for a story.
Super creepy, man. I don't know. And there's other theories too that I found, that it lives underground, that it lives in caves, and it's so well hidden that it also has like other senses that knows when a person's around, and they just don't want to be found. Like their purpose is just to hide. And we're over here ruining it, just trying to find them.
Of course. Like we truly ruin everything. It's really our gift as humans to really figure out how to ruin.
That's what we're here for, to just end our own species.
And we're so good at it.
Oh, man. But overall, it's a very mysterious creature that I think I don't know. I would like to catch a picture of it somehow, or try to. But then when I hear of what it looks like and what it's capable of doing, and supposedly it can snap trees and stuff.
And of course, if you're going to go like the dark route, think about all the people that disappear in the woods and are never seen again. It's like one of those things where, yeah, of course, someone could just fall down a canyon and they never get eaten by animals or whatever, and no one ever knows what happened to them. But could some of them also have been killed by a Bigfoot and just disappeared that way? We don't know.
I think we should all have body cams.
Let's just all embed cameras into our bodies. Everyone always knows what's happening with you and with them. And
Facebook has joined the chat.
I mean, Instagram's listening, so it's fine. The ads I'll get on Instagram today will be very strange.
Bigfoot tours. Special, holiday special, winter special.
Bigfoot tour. Travel to the Northwest.
I want to go to a convention, so.
Yeah, I think a convention would be fun. I'd be down to go with you to a convention.
So yeah, that's all about Bigfoot. If you have questions or anything else about weird, strange creatures in the woods, I want to know about it. DM us on Instagram.
Yeah, have you ever seen Bigfoot? Where are my Northwesters who've had some weird experiences with the Bigfoot thing? Let us know. Tell us. DM us. Email us. We read everything.
We have had some emails from people from the Pacific Northwest area, which is, right? Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Or if you've been around that weird skunk ape in Florida. I know I made fun of Florida earlier. If you send us some stuff, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
What are we going to talk about next week then, Michelle?
I think it'll be a surprise.
Dang it. All right. See you guys.
See you guys. Bye.